last year. And now, if the flow doesn't start up again, that could create oil-related problems for Americans.
Well, it's undoubtedly will place a hardship on us. Whenever you're selling something that's in short supply and then the supply is even cut shorter, it creates a problem. It could get to the point where you have lines at the service stations. Mr. Schlesinger talked about the possibility of closing stations on Sundays, holidays, and evenings. If it happens, undoubtedly they will. Majority of them close. I don't think they'll all ever close. You know, the love affair with the American with his automobile is probably the biggest love affair that the world's ever known.
However, the no oil situation in Iran could throw a monkey wrench into the machinery of that love affair. America now depends on foreign oil for about 45% of its needs. Only 5% of that figure is Iranian oil. It's a small percentage. However, in these thin oil supply times, that figure carries with it a lot of weight.
We're told, and we know from experience, from the embargo days, that a 2% swing makes a difference between a glut on the market and really lines at the pump. We run it that close, we the industry, and we have to.
Motorists, should the allocations be imposed, will probably have to pay anywhere from 9 to 12 cents more per gallon for gasoline at the pump. Oil companies like Sunmark Industries are cutting back on marketing divisions in anticipation of the lean oil times. It's ironic. April 1st is the proposed deadline for the possible federal allocation program. And April 1st is also the day of the proposed cutback for Sunmark Industries.
You do not need a big marketing department and a lot of people and a lot of expertise to sell a product that's short in supply. And petroleum is short. And now with the Iranian problem, it's even shorter.
Will Americans learn any lessons should the allocation program be imposed by the federal government?
I hope it tells Department of Energy that we really should start taking steps to become more self-sustaining in this country. I really think that we could if they would reduce some of the government regulations.
One thing is certain. America's energy problems and oil shortages will not disappear like a puff of steam vapor into a bright blue sky. For KTUL Tulsa, Bill Mitchell reporting.
Prices on the New York Stock Exchange sank from the opening bell today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average briefly trimmed its losses in mid-afternoon, but then continued to decline. The market closed down about 12.5 points.
Tonight, Bob wants us to meet a retired old man in Bob Howard's Tulsa, whose clock collection is something to behold. For reasons of security, the location of the collection will be withheld, and the collector identified only as Joe.
Time is fleeting and elusive. Although we say we can, we really can't buy it, or kill it, or save it. Nothing affects our lives more than time. But all we can really do about its passage is clock it. 14 years ago, Joe retired and became more aware of time. And with the time to do it, started collecting clocks.
Joe, how many clocks have you saved over the last, 14 years?
About 150 clocks.
So you've got quite a collection. What got you into that?
Well, I was thinking about retirement, and I said, well, something very interesting to do, and so I thought about clocks, how interesting they were.
They're pretty important to us, aren't they?
They're very important to us. If the clocks they tell the time we were born, so they go right through life with us and record the time that we die. We get up by them, we go to work by them, and everything. If we stopped all the clocks in the morning, the world would be in a stage of confusion.
It really would be, wouldn't it?
It really would.
Now, you've got clocks here that date back as far as what?
1735.
We've had some problems with that spot. I want to say, too, that you meant to call him a retired oil man, right? Not an old man.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Joe's a real nice guy, and he's not that old.
I'll call Joe and apologize.
Oh, okay. We'll be back right after this.
Okay, folks, ready to close on your new home. Down payment. Here you go. Tax escrow deposit. Here you go. And homeowner's insurance. Here you go.
We've got the shield.
So what'll it be today? Big car, small car?
Haven't decided.
2-door, 4-door?
Haven't decided.
Have you decided on anything?
Yes, car insurance. I've got the shield.
For all your personal insurance needs, including life insurance, see your local MFA agent. We've got the Shield for you.
We just do one thing on Owen Spring Creek Farm. We make country sausage, and we try to make it better than anybody. That's why we use all the choice cuts of pork, the hams, shoulders, and loin, and hand trim the meat so Owen's country sausage is leaner. I don't think you can put a better cooking sausage in your skillet or a better tasting one in front of your family. Owen's country sausage, fresh off the farm from the Owens family to yours.
I'm Jim Durra of Mohawk Steel. In 1972, Mohawk was a subsidiary of a bankrupt corporation, but we had an idea for getting back on our feet. We went to Mercantile Bank and Trust. Mercantile financed our rebuilding and has continued to finance our expansion. Today, we're one of the 3 top U.S. companies in our field.
When you're looking for a way to make your ideas work, get together with Mercantile. We have a way with money.
One of the highest honors of a marching band can receive is to win the Whitewater, Wisconsin National Marching Championships. At Union High School in Tulsa, the marching band has vowed to win that competition this year. And as Christopher Lewis reports now, they think they have the winning secret.
Their secret? Pride in their band. Sure, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes discipline and talent as well, but the one thing that these students say will win them the title this June in Whitewater, Wisconsin, will be pride.
Oh, a lot of pride, practice, and a band director that knows how to scream a lot.
Everybody working together and working as a team, like they said.
What makes this the best band, though?
Well, we got a lot of pride, and we know how to do what we do.
2 main things probably be pride and confidence, and another one is the will to work together with each other and to be able to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and come out, and no matter how cold it is or what the weather's like, to be able to get out there and march.
Do you think the Union High School band has that?
I think we got it all.
And one thing's for sure, in Whitewater, Wisconsin this summer, the Union High School band is going to win. Is that right?
Yeah.
For Total 8 Tulsa, Christopher Lewis reporting.
That looks like fun.
I'll tell you, those young musicians work as hard as the athletes getting ready to perform. There's something else. And the Union High is a super band. What do they do?
Basketball, huh?
A lot of basketball. The ORU Titans continue that kamikaze schedule of theirs tonight. The Titans are in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., to take on Georgetown. Just happened to be the team ranked number 9 in the entire nation. Titans go into the game with a 10-9 record. Meanwhile, at TU, Jim King and the Hurricane are preoccupied with tomorrow night's opponent here, Drake.
Well, Drake is a pretty good-sized team. They're a physical team, and we've got, of course, Chad Nelson in the middle, who matches up with Joe pretty well in size, and they've got one of the best guards in the league with Cricklow, and who is shooting the ball awfully well this year and playing awfully well, and they've got several new faces that we haven't seen that have been doing a good job for them this year, and they're a very explosive team as far as I'm concerned. They can score a lot of points. If you don't watch it, they can come at you real fast. And right now, they're 13-4. That's a pretty good record. It's a lot better than ours, so you have to feel like they're a much better ball club than they were last year.
Drake is directly ahead of the Hurricane in the conference standings. The third-place Bulldogs head into tomorrow night's 7:30 game with a 5-2 Valley mark. A full slate of action tonight in the Big 8. It includes Nebraska at Oklahoma State. Nebraska, one of the Big 8 leaders. OU, another Big 8 leader, travels to Ahern Fieldhouse to take on Kansas State. The Sooners have never won at Ahern in Manhattan. If they win tonight, they'll maintain his share of first place in the conference and break that long jinx of Kansas State. Well, a super junior college basketball game last night up in Claremore. Carl Aki was on hand as Ken Tricky's Claremore College Thunderbirds withstood a late rally by Northeastern Oklahoma A&M Junior College for an exciting 109-107 victory. The Thunderbirds were led, as they have been all season, by forward Reuben Jackson, who hit for 28 points last night. Jackson, however, was one of few players praised by a surprisingly disappointed Coach Tricky after the game.
10 minutes when you're up by 18 and 20, and then toward the end there, you think you've got it won. That's what they thought. They think that you got 7 minutes to go or 8 minutes to go, and you're up 18, you're going to win going away, and you don't do that. You show a little more class than that.
Cletus Green's Golden Norseman didn't appear to have a prayer early in the second half. Claremore went up by almost 20 points, but A&M kept plugging and almost made it all the way back.
At the start of the second half, our kids fell 12 to 14 points behind, scoring 2 against their 14 or 16. And from then on, it's catch-up. Finally, we just said to the guys, hey, this is a time we find out what you're made of. If you want to try to play hard, well, you can get after it and prove that anything can happen sometime in a game like this. And finally, they began to believe it just a little bit. And what was it? Finally, 2 points. So, yeah.
The high men for Greens Northburn were George Morrow and Keith Hilliard, and along with Claremore's Jackson, those three may be some of the most highly sought-after junior college basketball talent in Oklahoma this year. 2 outstanding junior college programs at Claremore and Miami. The All-City High School Diving Championships are underway now at Mason High School. The top 14 boy and girl divers in the state are competing for individual and team honors, with Edison High the favorite in both divisions. And the report on the girls diving, as expected, Edison's Marcia Esty has won it, followed by Bonnie Mosier of Memorial and Leanne McCunna of Mason, the top 3 girl divers in the city. The city's swimming championships will be held Thursday and Friday evening at the TU pool. We'll have a taped report on the diving championships tonight at 10. Well, the horses, the calves, the bulls are all gone now from the Tulsa Assembly Center. Once again, it's the home of the Ice Oilers, and they'll open a homestand tonight against Fort Worth. The Oilers are coming off a so-so weekend at Salt Lake City. They skated to a tie one night and got bombed the next.
Despite the fact that we lost 7-1 in the second game, we were really hurting from the standpoint of defensemen being injured and defensemen being sick. And we had to play an overtime game on the Friday night, and it just caught up to us Saturday.
Crucial homestand that's coming up now. You've got about 4 straight home games here. This is make it or break it time.
Well, there's no question. We set a goal of 72 points, and we have 18 remaining games at home, and we're going to have to win most of those remaining games in order to make the playoffs.
The Ice Oilers have just about overcome their bout with the flu, but Choice admits illness is not as much a problem as the team's failure to capitalize when opportunities present themselves.
This game, in the first period, we could have jumped way out in front because we had by far and away the best scoring chances in the period, and we came up with nothing. What this team is going to have to do is put the puck in the net.
Well, that usually helps. Anyway, 7:30 tonight, the Tulsa Ice Oilers back in action against Fort Worth. By the way, Ice Oiler President Bobby Gilbert is in the market for some business partners. Since taking over operation of the club, Gilbert has borne the financial burden on his own shoulders. He's now looking for interested parties to help him out with the Tulsa Ice Oilers. Coming up, Roughnecks and rhythmic gymnastics, next in sports.
Everything's nice at Sipes, so very nice at Sipes.
There are so many nice things about shopping at Sipes, and our low, low prices are the nicest of all. You'll find the highest quality products, specialty items, even a few surprises, all in the nicest surroundings. So start getting your money's worth today. Shop Sipes, where everything's nice, especially the price.
Everything's nice at Sipes.
A birthday party, yes. It's Premier Pontiac's anniversary celebration, and that means maximum savings on every new Pontiac in stock. For example, you can own a new 79 Grand Prix with factory air conditioning, automatic transmission, power steering, and power brakes, plus tinted glass and radio for just $57.88 delivered. That's right, just $57.88 for a new Grand Prix. Premier Pontiac's anniversary celebration. Don't miss it. Premier Pontiac, where volume makes it happen, just west of Lewis on 11.
Hello, sunshine, with your eyes so bright. We're gonna get this done by dinner tonight. With our sleeves rolled up and our Maryland Club. Tastes so fine, we'll have a good time. Maryland Club, my Maryland Club kind of day.
Ah, delicious Maryland Club coffee. We pack it while it's still warm. That captures the flavor and locks in the great Maryland Club taste. What better way to smooth out a busy day?
Maryland Club, my Maryland Club kind of day.
Tulsa Roughneck coach Alan Hedden had his first chance to see his team in game situations this past weekend in Florida. It was also his first chance to get a look at a tryout player from Iran, a World Cup player, Iraj Dinafar, who was trying to make the team on a tryout basis. Dinafar, number 11, had 1 goal and 2 assists over the weekend, and Coach Hinton was fairly pleased with that effort.
You know, he's played in the Iranian World Cup team, which doesn't mean incredible amounts of ability, really, but the lad's a good little player. He's not a big lad at all. He's a tricky player. He's fairly quick. He's tenacious. He's what I would say. There's no doubt about it. He would be a fairly good player in the North American Soccer League.
The Roughnecks have signed another First Division player, 19-year-old Wayne Hughes, a First Division player from England. Well, this Friday and Saturday at Woodland Hills Mall, the first Oil Capital Invitational Modern Rhythmic Gymnastics meet will be held. Competition runs from 10 to 6 each day. The public invited to watch inside the mall at no charge. Rhythmic gymnastics is a relatively new form in this area. Patty McCurry of Gymnastic Country USA explained it for us.
Okay, what it is, it's really the dancer sport. It's mainly, leaps and turns and jumps. They're not allowed to tumble like a normal gymnast would on floor exercise. No aerials or backflips or anything.
It really opens up this activity to girls other than really strong, hard gymnasts.
Yeah, gymnastics is getting so difficult that the really ballet, very slender, frail girls are leaving the sport, and they're getting into modern rhythmic because it is for dancers.
And there's a very big meet coming up this weekend for that.
Yeah, what we're doing is bringing the modern rhythmic people to us. It's mostly in the New York and California area, and it's new to this area, so we're bringing them to us, and we're going to have a nice event.
I understand it'll be at Woodland Hills Mall. Can you tell us a little more about the time and where people can see it?
Yeah, what we're trying to do is spread it out so that people can see it all day. It'll be Friday and Saturday from 10 to 6, and they'll warm up an hour and compete an hour, and warm up an hour and compete an hour.
What are some of the activities in this rhythmic type movement?
Okay, they work with a ribbon and jump ropes and balls and hoops.
Linda Fratiani of Northridge, California has taken the early lead in a bid for her third straight U.S. Women Figure Skating Championships today at the competition in Cincinnati. And in case you haven't heard, Muhammad Ali's latest retirement plans. He says now he will make a retirement speech on national television for a reported fee of $2 million. Ali says it may be the greatest retirement scene since Washington bid farewell to his troops. Ali at it again. Our congratulations to the KTUL Laker basketball team, beating the tough group from Aloe, 87-84, one of the great comebacks in Laker basketball history. Team now 2-2. Of course, any win is a comeback for the Lakers. Glad they won.
We'll be back right after this.
We at Central Air Distributors would like to better acquaint you with the type of jobs we specialize in. Whirlpool heating and cooling products for the new homes, new systems for older homes, to replace worn equipment, for commercial installation, a complete service department, and we service all brands. April Air humidifiers and Space Guard air cleaners, heat pumps, storm windows, and insulation for the complete job. So get your job complete before prices go up again and avoid the summer rush. Central Air Distributors and Whirlpool.
Fly away to the big sale at Clark's Good Clothes. Spread the word. The big news is that we're having a sale. Suits, slacks, sport coats, shirts. It's a big, big sale, so pass it along. Spread the word. Hurry. Fly on down to the big sale at Clark's Good Clothes, Tulsa, Joplin, Oklahoma City.
By heeding certain body signs, you can head off a serious problem. By heeding certain brake signs, you might head off a costly or dangerous brake problem. For instance, if your wheels make a squeaking or grinding sound, or the brake pedal is mushy, or your car pulls to the side when the brakes are applied, see the brakeman. We'll inspect your brakes free and do what's needed to make your car safe again. Drive with care and see the brakeman, where we know what we're doing.
Total 8 Tulsa is brought to you this evening by Reese's Discount Foods, Central Air Distributors, Clark's Good Clothes, and by the Brakeman.
At Woodland Hills Mall, as part of the American Heritage theme, a gallery of presidents is on display, and we have more on that from John Hassler.
There is an adage that there is a story behind every picture, and we have 39 of them here. They are of the American presidents, and indeed, there is a story behind each one of the presidents' lives.
For example, Martin Van Buren. Did you know that he was responsible for establishing the Treasury of the United States? Or Millard Fillmore, the 13th president, was responsible for a $30,000 grant to develop the Morse telegraph. And Abraham Lincoln, known for honesty and integrity, supposedly said, "Find out what brand of whiskey General Grant drinks and send a case of it to all my Union generals." Then Grant himself, who, like modern presidents, faced an ever-threatening inflation problem, even in 1875. Did you know James Garfield, the 20th president, was assassinated after serving only 4 months in office? You can